And it's on the wrong day. And it's also without intro music. One of these days, we've got to figure out the introductory music problem. And I know that it's not even that difficult, and it would probably be a 5-minute resolution. And yet I keep screwing it up. And I don't even know what to say about it. But it's Sunday Night Sun, Saturday Night Style. I'm with my man Keith Strader. What's up, Keith? How you doing, man?
Doing great. 3-0 this week.
3-0.
No Booker. One game with Green.
We sat here, and admittedly, we're a day early for various personal reasons. So, we talked about we wanted to see 2-2 out of this week, including the Clippers game tomorrow. But we'll take a 3-0 start, and it's worth talking about the 3 games that have been awesome against 3 Eastern Conference teams: the Nets, the Pistons, and the Cavs. Just an awesome week. I mean, again, no Booker, no Gillespie for one game. We've been, Jalen Green's been kind of in and out.
Yeah, which, I thought he was going to be out a lot longer.
Yeah, that's the thing is him being in and out is better than him just being out. So I'll take it, And here we are, right? Like we're back to this sort of level of like where we're playing above our heads in a very real way. Like we're not playing down to our competition.
No,
we're not. We're just playing consistent basketball every single game, and it's not changing too much with Booker out. It's really more just changing sort of who is attacking and when, and who's getting Booker shots. But the style of play, the pace of play, the intensity of play is still very, it's still totally, it's doing it. So, I mean, what a fucking, what a fucking 3 games.
I agree. Much better than the Heat game we left off on.
Right.
You were wanting more effort.
Yep.
They gave way more effort this week. If I would have told you like the Nets game would have been the most difficult for us this week,
yeah.
And you're looking at the Pistons and the Cavs, I would say no way, but give the Nets credit. They seem to play kind of decently against us.
Yeah. I mean, they really did. Like the Nets played a hell of a game. And I mean, it was Michael Porter Jr., who shout out to be regular guest on the Blunt Doctor show, who will never shut up about Michael Porter Jr. is way better than you realize and all these things. He's been saying Fred, and he's not wrong. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. seriously has been balling as a member of the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, this is easily the best season of his career. It is the season where he has obviously been asked to do the most because you're not playing with Jokic. You're not playing with Jamal Murray. He is the clear number 1 on a team that, isn't going anywhere. But he has kept them in a lot of games that they sort of otherwise had no business being in, this being one of them. And the funny thing is we've seen this before for the Nets against us with like Cam Thomas. Like he had one of his 40-point games against us. But, Michael Porter Jr. just hitting from everywhere.
Yeah.
He hit from middies. He was hitting from 3. He was coming off screens. He was doing it in ISO ball. A little bit of everything. Killing us all over the place. We still came away with victory.
Yeah. Yeah, we had no answer for him, really. And it's not like we weren't playing good defense against them, at least especially down the stretch.
I mean, we were all over him. He was just playing better offense.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Great offense beats great defense. And, Michael Porter Jr. was just, I mean, he was giving us the business, but luckily enough, we were also, hitting enough shots. And it's very interesting to see how, those things go when Booker's out, because obviously Dylan Brooks is going to take up, a huge share of those shots. But, specifically in the Nets game, Mark Williams was killing him.
Yeah, our leading scorer.
Yeah, just living at the rim.
27 points for the big guy.
Dunk after dunk after dunk. And just, I texted you during that game. I think I said, like, I'm curious if the Nets know, like, they're allowed to defend the rim. Like, they don't have to let him do this every time. I'm not sure the Nets know that.
I don't know. 72 points in the paint. I don't think they did that game.
Not sure they got the memo that they're allowed to play rim protection defense.
It was an interesting game for us. Like, we only took 23 pointers. And we scored 72 points in the paint. That's not a normal game for the Suns.
No, and, traditionally I want us shooting as many threes as possible. But in a game like this, where you're playing a team that sucks on defense, let's just call a spade, and is not going to give effort on defense and doesn't know how to give defensive effort, and has 5 first-round rookies from last year and all these things. This is not a team that knows what they're doing defensively. So why give them anything? Don't make it easy on them. Go to the rim. And if they actually play defense and stop you from doing that, then shoot. But in this case, there's literally no reason to shoot threes if they're going to let you have a layup line.
Yeah.
And that's what this game was. For all intents and purposes, that game, as close as it was really never in doubt because the Nets, at best, they were trading buckets. Mm-hmm. At absolute best.
I was a little worried at the end when they took the lead. They went on a little run in the fourth, and they were able to. But I was like, I don't know. It's the Nets. I think we got it.
It got close for sure. It was a nail biter in terms of the pure game, and some of the officiating was.
Yeah, dude, in that scuffle with 5 techs were given out.
Oh my god, we talked about it before, and it is what it is. So we really don't necessarily need to belabor the point, but I truly, truly don't understand why we don't have any sort of home whistle. It just feels like we're always on a road game.
Yeah.
No matter what's going on, even our superstar doesn't get a home whistle. And it's it's not even that Suns games are officiated fairly. And I'm like, oh, I don't want this to be fair. It's that I feel like we get a road whistle at home.
Yeah. The thing I will say is we don't get calls on offense, but we play really hard defense. And there's some things I'm just like, oh, they're not calling. I feel like sometimes we're touching players. We're draped all over them. And there's a lot of instances where we don't get called on a defensive foul.
Well, there is something to the fact that if you foul on every play, they're not going to call it on every play.
Yeah.
Right? It's offensive. Well, I think that we play very hard. Mm-hmm. I think that we play up to the amount that is allowed. I don't think that we're like Bruce Bowen used to be with the Spurs.
Okay.
Who was just an absolute dick who was kicking guys in the balls and kneeing dude. I don't think we're James Posey, who literally would be punching dudes after every whistle. I don't think we're that level.
I agree.
But, Dylan Brooks also has, got face-to-face with a ref. Mm. So I don't know that we're necessarily, breaking the rules so much as we're just, a bunch of assholes. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what you want.
Yeah.
It's all of these guys are really sincerely fucking annoying.
No one wants to play us.
None. No, you don't want to play us. And because everyone's obnoxious to play against. And it's just, that's kind of what you want.
Yeah.
That's as funny as it sounds, again, it's really hard to argue that Kevin Durant has been more impactful on the Rockets than Dylan Brooks has been on the Suns this year. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can make that argument with a straight face. The Rockets were a good middle of the pack team last year. They're a good middle of the pack team this year.
They had the number 2 seed, didn't they, going into the playoffs?
Yeah, they were very good.
They're worse.
They were a very solid team. They weren't a 60-win team or anything like that.
No.
They were a solid team. And this year, they're a couple spots behind that. And the Suns came from the bottom of the pack to, competing for a top 6 seed. It's just impossible to argue, even though the Rockets have beaten us every time this year, fine. But what Dylan Brooks has brought to the Suns has been greater than what Kevin Durant has been brought to the Rockets. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that will hold all year, but Dylan Brooks has been a more impactful player for the Suns than Durant has been for the Rockets. Mm-hmm. I don't even think that that's a controversial thing to say.
No, not at all. Like I was just saying, they had the 2 seed last year. Now the Rockets are competing for the 5, 4, 6, whatever.
Right.
That is a step back if you're the Rockets, management. And then on top of that, just Dylan Brooks adds to our team more than KD added to our team.
Yep.
At least in the last year. So it's just really good to see him step up when Booker's out. man, just to see his ISO play, and he's been hitting threes. He's getting assists. He's passing the ball.
Yeah.
So I love it.
The other thing is that Brooks is 30, and Durant is 37, and the runway for something great to happen with Brooks on the Suns is significantly longer. And so, that has to be part of the calculus, is that we reset our timeline to something much more in line with Devin Booker. Gillespie's 28, Booker's 29, Brooks is 30. Williams is only 23, Oso's 23, Ryan Dunn's 23. So you got youth. Jalen Green's 24. You got a lot of young dudes. We got some veterans. You got a nice mix. You need a mix of both. These teams that, the Clippers tried to go the all old guy strategy, and it was garbage. And the reason they've been winning lately is they've got a couple of young kids. You need youth for the energy. You got to have a mix of both. Yeah. But, kids don't know how to win basketball games. So you need veterans to teach them that. And, it seems reductive, seems basic, but, it's honest to God the truth. And, the Nets game, again, no Gillespie, no Green, no Booker. So much creation from Royce O'Neal, from Grayson Allen, from, Dylan Brooks, a little bit from Williams, a little bit from Oso. Everyone played point guard.
Yeah. Grayson Allen was doing a lot of point guard that game, especially. He had the first half. He only scored 4 points and ended the game with 18. He was pretty huge in us taking back the lead in the fourth.
Yeah. I mean, Grayson has continued to be, it's so funny. I hated him so much before.
Me too. I was like, this guy, he's a dirty player.
Yeah. I did not want him. And now I'm like, he's the best shooter in the league. What are you talking about?
And he's not dirty. He has an anger problem, a little bit sometimes. Like if he's not getting calls, he has no problem pushing a player over on the other side.
But he hasn't done any of that tripping bullshit since he's been in Phoenix.
No.
And that's what, those things straight up piss me off when anyone does them. And he hasn't done it. And you know what? Let's tell a funny story. The first game was the first home game of the season, right? That we went to against the Jazz when Grayson Allen had just got traded here. Mm-hmm. And it was one of Durant's first games in the second season.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And we went to a Jazz Suns game. And, I just was basically like, number one, I spent the whole game making fun of the Jazz uniforms.
We had bought 2 $20 bottles of alcohol.
Yeah, which just means 2 beers.
Exactly.
But I'm just like the whole game. I'm just like, oh, the Jazz uniforms are terrible. It's just literally the word Utah or the word Jazz. It's that corporate bullshit, minimalism nonsense. It's ugly. And there's like a couple of Jazz fans next to us who are older, who are very uncomfortable. And then at one point, someone like punched Grayson Allen. And I was like, man, that's all right. It's Grayson Allen. He deserves it. I like yelled that out loud. Like other Suns fans were not amused. No. I thought it was funny.
Some were
amused. Others were not. But, I got quite a few Suns stories. I don't know if I shouldn't tell them all, but anyway.
Over the course of our
yeah, we'll tell them all eventually. Yeah. The Mavericks game one is the ultimate, What a horrendously embarrassing evening for me. Nets win against the Nets.
Yes.
Next game, Pistons. And you're looking at this like, all right, of course we want to win. But, again, no book. We just lost to the Pistons. Mm-hmm. It was only by 3. But, you're like, all right, let's, again, we're trying to get 2-2 this week. We got 1-0, And honestly, I mean, that game, we pretty much wire to wire put those fuckers away. Yeah. Like, it wasn't even really especially down the stretch. Like, again, the Nets game was much closer.
It was.
Early on, it was, back and forth a little bit. But really, like, when you looked at it, like, the Pistons were it was never really their game.
No.
Like it was in the third quarter, the lead just got bigger and bigger, and it never really came back at all. That's one of the best wins of the year for us in terms of just putting the team away, especially when considering our best players out. Yes, it's at home, but they're still the number one team in the East, and to just kind of put the lid on that shit.
Yeah,
I was really impressed.
Me too. Like, I feel bad about us going into this. Like my expectations of us going into this week, I was like 2-2, but god dang, our guys have really they've exceeded expectations this week, and I just can't believe I even doubted them for a second. Just the way they've been playing, like you said, yeah. Do you imagine the fourth quarter? I felt better against the Pistons than I did against the Nets, and they're, like you said, they're the number one team in the East. So like what? Like I don't know what finals implications. Like if we actually got to the finals, like should we even talk about that, or
I mean, what I can say is if we got to the finals, I would love to play the Pistons because I think that we have a very good handle on making Cade Cunningham much closer to average than a lot of other teams do.
Yes.
And I think that the way that we've got a lot of dudes that can switch on to him. Mm-hmm. I think that we have a lot better wing defense than a lot of teams do. And, between Brooks, Goodwin, Gillespie when he's playing, obviously Booker when he's playing didn't play this game. But the point is, on and on down the line, O'Neal, you've got a boatload of dudes who can make Cade work for all 40 minutes that he's playing.
Yeah.
And not every team has that. I mean, again, we just have better defense than literally anyone expected. And we have more defenders than anyone expected. And I do think that, the Pistons are a pretty heliocentric team. They're going to go as Cade goes. Mm-hmm. And, that's not to say that they can't play well when he's not having a great night. They can. But, Cade is going to take them. He's going to put that team on his back and carry him as far as they're going to go. Dern's going to play off of him. Ivy is not, really developed into what, anyone thought. All the dudes around them, everyone's going to play off of what Cade's doing. And so it's interesting because we've talked a lot about how in the old days, like, Pop would say, all right, I'm just going to stop Amari. Or I'm going to let Amari go off and I'm just going to stop everyone else, and he would just say, we can't stop Amari. We're not going to try. Put our worst defender on him. Put our best defenders everywhere else. And I feel like we do the opposite with the Pistons. We're like, look, if Jalen Duren's going to beat us, he's going to beat us. But we're not going to let Cade beat us.
Right.
It's more of a Belichickian, and it's just interesting because, I don't think that we necessarily attack every single team that way. And yet with Cade, we've had really good success at just really, I think, exhausting him.
Yeah. We're getting into his passing lanes, like getting up into him on the ball, making it like just forcing turnovers, forcing him to like really focus on taking care of the ball. Yeah. He had a better game against us this game than last game,
Yes.
But,
but last game they won.
That's the thing. Yeah. We held him like 2 of 10 or whatever it was until the fourth quarter. And it was because Richardson or Duncan Robertson, right? And Harris were really shooting well last game, and they were not hitting their shots this game.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris.
And I mean, yeah, again, you're not going to if Cade is on, you're not going to stop him. Mm-mm. The goal is just to make him work 15, 20% harder.
Yeah.
And just, it's the same thing that you try to do with Shea, with the Thunder. It's like, you can't stop him.
Yeah.
So make it a little harder for him to draw his fouls. Make him shoot a couple more threes. And if he makes them, well, it is what it is.
They were not shooting their threes that game against us. Yeah.
No. And I do think that, water finds its level. Duncan Robinson and Tobias Harris are fine veterans. They're role players. But, they're certainly going to be better at home than on the road.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair thing to point out. And again, no Booker in either game.
Right. That's true.
And we were within 3 in the other one in Detroit, and we beat them here by 20.
Yeah.
So,
hell of a game from Brooks, his career high.
I mean, Brooks has been unbelievable lately. Like, he had that one game that was 2 of 13 or whatever, and since then, he's been balling out of his fucking mind. Like, Dylan, he's not always consistent. He's not always efficient, but he's been so good so many times that his overall numbers have been very consistent and very efficient. So, it works. Yeah. And then the funny thing is, you look at this game and then you take a look at the Cavs game, where second night of a back-to-back, again, no Booker. You got Jalen.
Yeah, we got Green back, which I was surprised to see.
Which you're still working him in.
Yeah.
So even though he's back, that's still a thing.
Yeah, like 15 minutes.
Yeah. He hurts himself again, but came back.
Yeah. Man, I was like,
yeah, dude, you and Connor, my nephew, texted me that second. I texted, like, we're all like texting each other during the game. Like, we immediately text each other. This game was, to me, I was like, okay. And again, not to be negative, but I was just like, this is an understandable loss.
Yeah, back-to-back.
Back-to-back. We just won 2 games that were really tough.
It worked us last time.
You're working Jalen Green back in, who, even though he gives a boost to the offense, he's still figuring it out on defense and learning. Because even if he was, a great defender, it still takes time to learn how to rotate with everyone together, And so there's a lot there that you can poke holes in how we're going to perform. And
I felt a lot better when I saw no Mobley and no Garland.
I mean, that certainly plays a huge part in it, right? Like, obviously, Garland has been so up and down, and he's been injured so much the last couple of years that, he's still a positive when he's in the lineup. But obviously, Mobley is a force.
Yeah.
And given how kind of rough Jared Allen has played this year, no. But again, it's like, it's still the second night of a back-to-back. You still don't have Devin Booker. You still look at that and you say, this is a game that if we lost it, I'm not going to flip my lid.
Right.
And again, not only do we not lose, but we kick their ass.
Yeah. We go by over 30.
Yeah. Like, this one was, and then, at the end, they kind of, they brought it. It ended up being like 13.
Because we took our guys out.
Yeah. We took our guys out in there.
Yeah.
I think we were, talking about Bouye and Livers were like both minus 13 in like the last few minutes. But like, even then, it was still 13 points.
Yeah.
And
I actually started to get nervous. I was like, with a minute left, I'm like, gotten a 10-point deficit under a minute before.
It's just one of those things, like, that's one of those ones that I almost look at as like a potential schedule loss. It's like, second night of back-to-back, rough situation. You're losing a lot of guys. If Mobley had played, maybe we would have lost. But, again.
Hard to say. We were up by 30.
We dominated.
I don't know if he makes up for that.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
But Booker being there certainly changes the game too. So Garland being there changes the game. It is what it is. Injuries are part of the game. You play the roster in front of you. Exactly. You can't change who the guys on the team are. And I'm never going to sit here and be like, we won by 13. Bad.
Right.
That's great.
I'm ecstatic.
Yeah. Listen, again, we said 2-2, and I fully expected that it was possible that we would win the first game, lose the middle 2 games, and then beat the Clippers.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night. And the fact that we've gone 3-0, dude, because it's incredible. Like, we could have split those 2 and be 2-1 right now. I'd be like just as happy.
Me too.
And instead, again, this level of, they care about the seeding. They are, this is not we're so happy to be here. We hope to make the play-in. They are looking at this shit and saying top 4 seed is possible. and we want to get it.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah,
I love seeing it. Let's do this real quick because it's not even. I mean, it just we know. Let's hear. Let's just.
You said not a question.
It's not even a question who the player of the week is. It's going to be Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks.
I should have a Dylan Brooks. I should have a Dylan Brooks picture ready to go. I'm sorry. We're getting better. We're not perfect here at Saturday night, Sunday night Suns, middle of the night Suns, weekend Suns, whatever you want to call it. But Dylan Brooks is the player of the week. There's no question. You know, he's averaging 30-something this week.
Put the team on his back.
He's had a couple of really nice passes that are like, all right, Dylan, we see you.
Yeah.
And still the defense is top notch. I mean,
and his career high.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And that's the thing is, after the first game, we talked and we were like, you know, it's between probably Brooks and Williams because Williams scored 27 and, you know, completely dominated the Nets. Brooks also had a great game. But then the last two games, I mean, Dylan is just, I mean, I don't know that he's missed a shot.
Yeah.
I like the statistics show that he missed one, but I'm not sure that's true because I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah.
He's been, you know, I mean, he's home. I think that's just what this is that, you know, and I don't mean literally, he's Canadian. But I think that I think that the biggest thing is not to keep going back to this topic, but in the KD trade, when we went to the Rockets, we said we want Dylan Brooks. That's the first thing. That was asset number one. Then we said we want a pick and a player, right? We probably wanted 2 picks, whatever. I feel like we should have got 2 picks, whatever. The point is, the first thing we wanted was Dylan Brooks. We said that guy set the culture in Memphis. Look at what's happened to the culture in Memphis since then. That guy set the culture in Houston. We want to bring that guy here to Phoenix and have him bring the culture. And I'd like to point out that the culture in Memphis sucks right now. The culture in Houston is not what it was last season.
Yeah,
the defense
still have KD like throwing bottles and stuff.
Yeah, and the defense in Houston is not what it was last season. And the culture in Phoenix is phenomenal right now, and the defense is phenomenal. And there's one reason, and that is Dylan Brooks. Dylan is the perfect pair for Devin Booker. There is literally no one in this league I would want to play next to Devin Booker more than Dylan Brooks. I want them to play the rest of their careers together. They bring out the best in each other in every single way. And Dylan has just the energy and the way that every single fucking person around him goes to a level, again, that just we haven't seen. I'm really starting to I'm starting to really believe here. We can do things here. Like this is not a fun, carefree season. We can do shit here. Yeah. I'm really starting to believe that, you know, this could be like, I mean,
Dallas Mavericks run.
Listen, we talked about the 2011 Mavs and we talked about the 04 Pistons. And I know that those things are, you know, those are teams that won 55 plus games. I think they won 57 and 58, something like that. So that may be a little bit outside the realm of, you know, they, you know, had, you know, greater regular seasons than us. But again, we stumbled hard out of the gate.
We've been injured.
Yeah. And we really fumbled to find our identity the first 2 weeks. And again, you can't just take those out. But since then, who this team is so much better. And we get better every single week. And I'm just starting to sit here like, why are we limiting ourselves on what we can do? We play the Spurs really well. Mm-hmm. We play the Thunder really well. Why can't we do something? And I'm just starting to like, again, it's the Neo in the Matrix thing. Like I feel like I'm Morpheus. I'm like, he's beginning to believe. Like I'm watching them being like, they believe they can do this.
Yeah.
Like it's not because it's not even us. Like we're fans. Yeah. We believe, you know, we're delusional all the time, but they believe too. They are also delusional about this. And I got to be honest with you. That's what you want.
Yeah.
that's what we need. So I'm with it.
Me too.
Are we ready to do highlights?
Yeah, let's do it.
Highlights. Boom. All right. It's highlight time, baby. So let's add them to the stage. It's important to have highlights when you're going to watch highlights. So shall we start with the Nets game?
Let's do it.
All right. Now, again, here's the all-important question. Can I do it with my glasses on? Because I keep forgetting people's names or not seeing their names. All right. So Brooks actually passing the ball. What do you know? This is the beautiful stuff, the give and go. And again, Williams just absolutely dominating this game. But what you love on this play right here is that this is just heads up basketball back and forth, right? Because in a lot of scenarios, right, Williams comes up here, sets the screen, right? Then Brooks comes, dribbles around, drives, shoots, whatever. And, Williams might roll with him. He might pop. It's just kind of it's a standard pick and roll action, right? It's just regular stuff. But instead, it's, give it to Williams, give it back, like just back and forth, back and forth. This is one of those plays that coaches love to show kids because they're like, look at how unselfish, anytime you see a play that has like multiple passes and very little dribbling, coaches are like going to show that shit. And I saw the other day some like Cavs highlight where they did a 3-man weave up and down the court without passing much to the bucket. And so it was like every single coach in the country is going to be showing this. And it's very true because it goes that way a lot when you have these sort of, it's a good play. And then again, in this case, it is very unselfish what they do here. Cause again, we're going to give it to Williams. We're going to do the DHO, splits the double team with the pass right into the dunk. And again, the thing is right here, you look at the Nets and look at what's going on here. Nobody covering the rim. I believe that's Cam Thomas, who's a 6'3" guard, covering the rim for the Nets. They are just so discombobulated. And Mark Williams knew this. And he said, I'm going to take advantage of this shit. And he just absolutely hammered the ball home all game. It was a dunk festival. This game was like a lot of fun to watch if you love, because what'd you say? It was 72 points in the paint?
Yeah.
So it was just from us. Yeah. Not total, just us. So that, when you do that, you're going to win. You can win a lot of games when you score 72 points in the paint. And the funny thing is that reminds me of a couple years ago, the NBA Cup game that was the finals between the Pacers and the Lakers, which I think was the first NBA Cup. And the Lakers were like, okay, the Pacers don't defend the rim, so we're just going to dunk every play. And LeBron and AD just dunked. Then they had like 80 points in the paint. Oh my God. And someone was like, hey, you could tell the Pacers defend that rim thing.
That was such an annoying
scene. I hated that game. Yeah, I had money on the Pacers. All right. Oh, and he just has more skills. Also, just has more like to his game than you think he does. Right here again. What are we talking about? What's this? What's going on here? What is this gigantic fucking area? This is called the paint. Who from the Nets is there? They don't know. They don't have a clue. Question mark. We don't do this. We don't do this thing. And like, this is like 2K.
Yeah.
When you're like sitting there playing, and then the dude like walks down the center dunking, and you're like, surely the computer knows to rotate and cover the rim, right? No, the computer does not know. But also, not only does the computer not know, the Brooklyn Nets also do not know. And again, he just he goes right by his man who is staring at him. So I don't even understand. Like it's not as if he wasn't looking. He's looking right at him. So what happens here? Like, is Oso Iguodala Usain Bolt? Like, what happens here? Because he just goes right by him. And now here, we're at the free throw line, okay? Like, surely one of the other 4 Brooklyn Nets should be able to close. And again, Cam Thomas, what an incredible job of standing and looking. just an incredible year from this guy. And I think that's Joman closing. But it's just, he tries and he fouls him. Just the worst kind of contest in the world where you're not going to be able to stop anything and you're just going to get a foul. He just grabs him, basically.
Had to throw early Iguodala in there.
The funniest thing about this play is the foul at the end. If you're going to foul a dude on a play like this, you better make sure he doesn't throw down the dunk and get the fucking and one.
Yeah.
But instead, you just highlighted the fact that you fucking rotated late by adding a fucking free throw to it. Absolute genius. Absolute genius. And this is the stuff, like, this is the one thing that this part of the schedule is we've been doing these highlights and we've had games like the Wizards.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, see this section where no one's defending anything? That's called the rim.
Yeah.
And, and it's just.
That might have something to do with them being 14.
Yeah.
Losing 14 out of 16 games.
Well, and sometimes I'm like, all right, let's highlight what's going on here. And I'm like, okay, a middle schooler could explain this one. Because it's like, I hope that, like, it'll be exciting when we get to the playoffs and we get into game 6.
Yeah.
And it's like we're looking at actions that we looked at from game 3 that are now being done differently. That's the stuff that's really cool. But here in the middle of the season, it's like, okay, the Nets don't defend the rim on this play. The Nets don't defend the rim on this play. The Nets get confused about what the rim is on this play. And, Oso gets dunk. And again, it's not a Sunday Night Sun show unless we have an Oso Iguodala dunk. We're putting into the universe the first guest we want on the show, or at least the first major guest we want on the show. Someone else may come on before that. But the first major guest we want on the show is Oso Iguodala. We want to get Oso. We're going to reach out to his agent. His agent's going to reject us. But we're going to try anyway. Because why the hell not? Like, this podcast talks more about Oso Iguodala and highlights more that Oso Iguodala is doing in basketball than any other podcast in the world.
Hey.
I don't think that Oso Iguodala's mom would talk about him as well on a podcast as we do. She'd be like, he didn't clean his room. There'd be all these other things, but this is an Oso positive podcast. And also his name, it just accentuates Oso. It accentuates everything. It's like,
it does.
It's such a good name. I love this dude.
Me too.
If we ever trade him, I'm gonna fucking have a conniption.
That would be a dark.
I don't think we will, because Ishbia loves this team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I gotta say, Ishbia, he went through all the shitty owner stuff first. He traded our former favorite players, but he has now replaced them with new favorite players. And I kind of like these ones more.
I'm having a great year.
Like if you ask me right now, do I want Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson back, or do I want Oso Iguodala and Ryan Dunn? I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I want these dudes. Do I want Mikal and Cam or Dylan Brooks and Colin Gillespie? Like, that's not even a question. Of course I want Brooks and Gillespie. Like, I loved Mikal. I loved Cam. I really did. But these are the guys now.
Yeah.
These dudes are the dudes. So
100%.
These are our guys. All right. So we got Brooks up high, ignores the double team, fires a ridiculous 3 and makes it anyway. Here's what I love about this shot. This form is horrible. Look at this. look at the way he shoots this ball. This is terrible. Like, his guide hand is all the way over here. He just basically shot put this ball at the rim. This is not good. This is not how you're supposed to play basketball. And yet it goes in. I can't explain it. His shot is flatter than a pancake. Like, this dude, it looks like Kawhi's shot. Like, he hurls the ball at the rim. Like, it's not even, it's, again, like I used to say, did Gerald Green dunk the ball like the rim had personally offended him about his mother?
Yeah.
And he was trying to hurt the rim back. And I feel the same way about Dylan Brooks' jump shots. It's like the back of the rim hurt him. And he's like, I'm going to fucking hit the back of this rim so hard every single time. He will never swish a shot. You'll never see him swish a shot because it always fires at this angle that somehow goes just enough that it just hits the rim and then dies and goes in the hoop. It is the most bizarre. His shot is ugly and it works. And I don't care. Don't change it. I love it. But it is crazy to me. Like, I love Dylan Brooks so much. This is not good form. You're not supposed to shoot a basketball this way. This is fine. Right here, he creates the space, right? We can see right here that he literally did. I mean, this is actually an impressive work because he's kind of facing a triple team if you look at the way this goes, because the Nets double him high right here, right? They're doubling Dylan Brooks high right here. But then Allen's defender is basically ready to cheat off of him for whatever reason. You're going to cheat off the best shooter in the NBA to provide a triple team on Dylan Brooks at the 3-point line. That's not good defense.
Dylan Brooks shows why.
But again, whatever. But so Brooks comes around, basically fights off the double team and creates enough space that the look is good. But like, again, like just look at the fucking form. It's horrible. Like just, that's not how you shoot a basketball. And it goes in. Whatever, right? Like, who the hell cares? Like, it doesn't matter if the shot goes in. The best shooter in elementary school that I knew was this kid named, I think his name was Carl. And he shot the ball like this. Like, he would bring it to his chest and do this shit. But he never missed. I can't explain it to this day. Like, in my mind, I'm like, am I misremembering how this kid shot the ball? It was the weirdest fucking shit, but he like made everything. I don't remember him ever missing. Again, I'm sure that he did, but I don't remember it. So it's just like, you got a weird shot, whatever. Now, that shot gets fucking blocked at the NBA. Like, I think about Sean Marion, the way his release was so low. If he was trying to play today, dude, that should get knocked the fuck out. All right. A little high pick and roll with Grayson and Williams and Royce. And see, again, I love this stuff. This has been really fun. We've been doing this all the time lately, where we're doing this thing where we run a high pick and roll, but we run a double pick, basically. And not a double pick in terms of, like, traditionally when you think of a double pick, right? A double pick means, like, I've got Williams right here. I'm coming off this guy. And then Royce is going to come right here. And Grayson's going to go all the way around both of them, right? Like, that's a double pick but what we're doing here is like setting a high pick and a lower pick. And it's basically like giving us an option for whatever each guy, whatever pockets open to them, whether it's the plays for them to pop or drop or roll, whatever it is. He basically comes off the screen with one player, but there's two different players in the pick and roll that provide roll action, essentially. Because both of these two in Royce and O'Neal or Royce and Williams have like an option there. And I fucking love the way we do this because Grayson just comes around. And in this case, it comes back into O'Neal basically setting that double pick. And now we've got an easy lob or an easy pass for the dunk. But the point is that as opposed to having O'Neal come up and like fake the pick, or a horns action where, Grayson chooses between two different picks. We literally had two different guys pick the same dude out of like a set where it doesn't even look like a double pick, but it really then kind of is a double pick. It's creativity. It's these little things these are the things that separate winning basketball in the NBA from losing basketball. Because, like I've said a million times, women's basketball is actually fundamentally more sound than men's basketball. Like, if you go watch the WNBA, it is actually a more fundamentally sound league than the NBA because they don't have the same level of athleticism, because they don't have the same level of height, and yet they're still playing on a court that's almost as large as, the NBA court, like in terms of like the 3-point length is a little shorter. They're not playing on like shorter baskets, all these things. Like there are things that that make it slightly more difficult for them. So there's less of like just pure athletic dominance by the person who can dunk the most. Now, Asia Wilson and Alyssa Thomas might disagree with me at this point, but regardless, overall the WNBA is a more fundamentally sound league. And so the teams at the bottom of the NBA are trash and do all the fundamentals wrong. And so this is why watching the Suns now, seeing there's a second and third piece built into every single action, that's where you win in the playoffs. And this the thing is, again, people are like, oh, basketball is repetitive. You're literally sitting here talking about two people running up and down the court and just putting the ball in the hoop, the whole, and the basketball is pretty repetitive, the SNL skit. Yeah. And those things are not technically wrong, but the point is that anything that you get involved in, like at this high level, it's the little things that make the difference. And it's these little techniques and these little things that you're not going to see from a Wizards game, that you're not going to see in a Mavericks game right now, that are so much more creative than, again, what we've seen from us in the last few years. It's fun to watch Suns games again. And it's fun to break them down again, because so often in the last few years, like, all there would be is, okay, let's look at a bunch of isolations.
Right.
And there's nothing worth talking about there, you know?
Yeah, just fun to look at sometimes.
Yeah. All right, Brooks. Oh, Brooks ISO again, just scoring all the way around the rim, touched every part of the rim. That ball could not have touched more rim.
We were up 2.
Ooh, all the way, baby.
This is where we're down 4 right
Yeah,
now.
I mean, this is the thing. It's like this was a close game. Brooks gives us the lead. We lose it. We get it back, but again, this was a great Grayson Allen point guard game. I agree with you. Like, this was probably Grayson's best passing game. And this was certainly his best passing week. I feel like, not even necessarily from an assist perspective, but just from the way that he was initiating and creating offense. It was very impressive to see. And again, I feel like he's been watching Book, man, because some of these passes I've seen Grayson throw, he's thrown a couple of those overhead ones that we talked about, like Book has been throwing.
Dude, yeah.
Like some of those, I'm like, all right, Grayson, I see it.
Yeah.
And the more that he creates, like, that makes our offense deadly. Like, if he can play point guard, that's changing the game for us.
It is. That opens up the floor so much for us. You know, gives a Booker a chance to, maybe create a shot or something.
Yeah, and it also doesn't, it allows Booker to wait till he's healthy to come back.
Yeah.
It allows Gillespie to sit when he needs to. We don't have to force 2 guys to do 90% of our shot creation if we can get more out of Grayson Allen.
Yeah. Bouye coming in, do a little point guarding.
Dude, I love Bouye. Like, Bouye, it's like, you never know what's going to happen, and you're not 100% sure it's going to be good, but it's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Like, Jamari Bouye is about to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Now, it might be a 3 that goes off the side of the backboard, or it might be, a layup that comes out of a Michael Jordan move.
Yeah.
Or it might be a steal. Like, you just don't know.
He's definitely not afraid of anyone.
No.
He's not afraid of driving.
And that's what I love about him, is that he plays like we all know who the fuck he is.
Yeah.
He plays like, I'm Jamari Bouye, motherfucker. And we're all like, you're who? Like, that's, you know what I mean? But now in Phoenix, we're like, yeah. But at the beginning of the season, I was like, who the hell is Bouye? Who is this guy?
Me too. I had no idea.
Not anymore.
Devin Booker's too.
Yeah. Booker was like, I didn't even know who he was. That was hilarious, dude. Booker's so honest, man. All right, let's see what we got in the Pistons game. Royce going to Grayson. You got to love the pairing. I mean, just 4-way. And again, this is just born out of everyone knows where everyone is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a fast break scenario. And again, I mean, one thing I love, look at Williams. He's back here. And he's still going to get in the middle of this play because of his hustle. Williams has great motor for a big man, and we see it all the time. And you see him so often be the last dude to rebound or defend a play, and then he still gets in on either an offensive rebound or a pass or a dunk on the other end because he's putting in the energy to get back, while DeAndre Ayton jogs to the middle court and then walks to the 3-point line and stands there. Again, Mark Williams is everything that DeAndre Ayton was supposed to be.
Right.
I stand by that.
I agree.
And I am this, I love this dude so much.
He's not afraid to go in and dunk the ball.
Nope.
Like,
he's got touch.
DA will kind of like do a little soft, like little.
Yeah. DA is always with the fucking shooting, and the way Williams will just attack the rim. I'm just like, yes. But here again, like, Royce is bringing the ball up in this scenario. He knows where Grayson is. We know where Brooks is. Everybody knows where everyone's going to be. And so it's just a very simple scenario because, I mean, honestly, look at how quick these passes go. Mm-hmm. Like, when we get into this situation, Grayson attacks, comes back to Williams, right back to Brooks. Like, they knew that's a really quick. Royce hits Grayson knowing he's going to attack. Grayson hits Williams knowing that he's the release valve for his attack. Williams is double covered, so he knows that Brooks is going to be open on the side, and it's a wide open three because there's literally no hesitation. It's the 0.5 thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, pass, or drive in half a second. And we haven't necessarily established that as an offensive contingency in the way that Monty Williams wanted to, but when we're in transition, we've been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And those quick hits just create such easy buckets. It just, you love to see it. Oh, here we go. Livers and Bouye on the court together. Oof, that's a beautiful shot. I mean, that's just a great shot. I mean,
that was his 4-point play.
I mean, he is just, you are just like, just talk about, that's Gillespie, just covered like a motherfucker. I mean, it's not even necessarily, Bouye just sees the easy pass to the open shooter, right? Mm-hmm. But then dude just flies right through Gillespie. That's an easy 4-point play. Obvious call there.
Yeah.
Good one for that. Good call on that one, obviously. Oh my God. It's just crafty shit. I mean, here again, what kills me every single time I watch this play is that, like, we'll get our actions snuffed out. Mm-hmm. We're not reinventing the wheel, but the way that we just go to a new thing, mm-hmm. like it just, again, like right here, you come in, we get the high pick and roll right here, right? Yeah. Just standard stuff. We go right to the pick and roll, nothing special. So we'll run it. Boom. Now, nothing happening here, right? We just got the ball in the wing. Bouye just kind of dumps it off. Nothing really going on. All right, so let's reset. So what happens? Ryan Dunn flies around, right? Bouye sets the screen for Dunn. So we got a point guard setting the screen for Dunn. So again, little crafty shit. Not a great screen because as we see, Bouye's right here and his man got around him, but it's still set Dunn free, right? So now you look at this action and you're like, okay, this is going to be a give and go where Oso's going to give the ball to Dunn and Dunn's going to come around the corner and attack the hoop, right? No, just keep the ball. Oso just keeps it, doesn't give it to him. Because, again, it doesn't seem working. He looks for the passing lane here now, right? He's trying to see where can I slip the ball to Dunn in this area. But pretty well set up, defended. The Pistons are a good defensive team. So this passing area never evolves. So Oso's not going to throw the ball away. So we'll just keep letting the play develop. So Dunn runs around. Oso takes 2 steps in. He's got Livers over here. Now, honestly, Livers can shoot this ball. He's pretty damn open. You can just shoot this thing. You don't necessarily need to go through all this, but Pistons close out pretty nicely. And the pass is a little bit off, so he whips it down to Dunn in the corner. Open 3. If there had been a better pass to Livers, he's got that shot. But because it's off target, very nice adjustment by him, by the way, to catch the ball, whip it into the corner. But again, Dunn keeps moving. We saw Dunn all the way on the other side of the court, going for the handoff that doesn't come. So he sprints to the other corner and catches the second pass for the 3. That's all effort. That play is literally the effort of Ryan Dunn to create the open shot. That's not a play. There's no play that's like, all right, we're going to run a pick and roll for Bouye, and then Bouye is going to pass it to Oso, and then Bouye is going to set a pin down for Dunn, and Dunn's going to sprint around, and he's not going to take the ball. And then Oso's going to pass it to Livers, who has to flip it to. That's not a play. Right. That's just everyone continuing and cycling. And again, it's exciting shit. It's so fun to watch. God, I love Bouye. That's just pure Bouye. That's just Jamari Bouye. And it sucks that he didn't get the shot. Like, you hate that he didn't make it. Yeah. Because that's one of those ones you got to get. But it's just schoolyard shit. This is what we love, Jamari Bouye. Oh, behind the back spin. And again, Oso Ighodaro, stay ready. Get the putback. You love that shit. We love Dylan Brooks. And that's the snake play. Now, you saw that, right? This is the Chris Paul snake that Chris Paul taught Devin Booker. Right here. This is the shit that Chris Paul taught Booker. That Booker now has clearly taught to Brooks. Because right here, you see the way that it's literally going to look like a snake. Brooks is going to come in here. whip around here, and then whip all the way back out here to take the shot right here, right outside the elbow, because it's basically a snake pattern is what it is. That's why the play is called that. But it basically is a way of you draw everyone inside thinking going for the basket. You take 2 steps back outside and shoot the ball at the elbow, and you're going to be fading, so you're going to create space because they're going inside. You go outside. Kansas City shuffle, right? Yeah. Everyone looks one way, you go the other way. And so right here, coming in, now snake back the other way, and boom, fade at the elbow. He takes a little bit more to the midi range to slide a deck, but the point is, you go watch Suns from 2021. You see Chris Paul run that play a billion fucking times.
That's so true.
You watch Suns from 2022. You see Devin Booker run that play a billion times, and now Brooks is running it. So good to see that the old hits are still playing in Phoenix.
Oh yeah, that's why I love him so much.
Oh, just a beautiful pass. Just again, Grayson, just heads up shit. Just this is a beautiful, like, you've got to know. I went back too far. Whatever. Let's watch the snake again. But this pass coming up is just the level of touch necessary to not overthrow this thing. Boom. Everybody playing with such finesse, playing so well together. I love how our bigs are just in the middle of again, what is that shot? Dylan, just the shot. Just, I mean,
in between 2 defenders.
Like right here. Just the way he puts the ball on one arm. I'm trying to get it right there. It just goes all off one arm. And he just it works. Fuck it, right?
40-point game.
40-point game, baby. You love the side step 3. You got another exciting Suns game.
Gillespie back.
Dude, Gillespie is so important to what we do. He's so important not only to our shot creation from like a plain point guard perspective, he's also just a goddamn good shooter. He's had games where he's, knocking down crazy amounts of shots. We've needed his offense. So not having him is a bummer. It's good to see him back.
How are we on time?
Oh, that's how we do it here.
Yeah.
We're running low on time, but we're going to finish them up anyway, because that's what we do around here. We take shots and we finish highlights.
Take shots
and finish
Brooks.
highlights. Yeah, exactly. Just like the Suns. And this is just a defensive highlight. This is, just heads up, steal the ball.
We make it so hard for people to get into their rhythm.
And when you can't even do basic things like take the ball up court because we're trying to play you 90 feet, like, it gets annoying and it just throws you off and puts you on tilt. And, it gives you that little bit of edge. And our bigs are just so damn crafty that you just never know when it's a guard, it's a big, anyone might poke that ball out. We got hands everywhere. You love a Jalen Green highlight. We haven't got a lot of those this season. And what is that? That's a little tiny version of the snake play. Not as hard because Jalen can't cut so hard right now, but coming out of the high pick and roll, this is another version of the same play, running out pick and roll. But again, Jalen snakes around this way, comes around to the elbow, takes a shot right here. It's, again, simple stuff, not reinventing the wheel, but having multiple different guys do the same thing from their spot.
Yeah, consistently.
Right. Like we have go-to plays that we know work that we're going to be able to use with different people because our offense is not completely stagnant and not all about one person. I love seeing stuff like that. I love the way that Ott will mix it up with players, variants, all of that. Man, again, when Goodwin makes threes, we're tough to beat.
His 3 came back this game.
Yeah, when Goodwin makes threes, we're tough to beat.
Yeah.
We are very, oh, God. Dude, Williams just, he runs the floor like a goddamn gazelle.
Yeah.
And his touch around the rim is, because even though these are dunks, you rarely see Williams like throw one off the rim because he's just got, there's so much room for this guy to grow. Like, he's going to get, like, next year, we're going to be good next year because the growth of Iguodala, the growth of Williams, you're bringing back Jalen Green. We hope to find a way to bring back Gillespie. Like, I don't know that the Suns are going to be able to pay everybody. It's going to require creativity to bring the majority of this team back. You know, hopefully guys take a little bit of discount because they want to be here. And, you know, with the Beal situation, you kind of have to. But, man, Williams, I know he's going into restricted free agency. We need to keep him.
Yeah.
I love Grayson Allen and I love Royce O'Neal. I love them both to death. They are guys that could be casualties. We must keep Oso. We must keep Williams. And we really got to find a way to keep Gillespie if we can.
Gillespie.
So it's going to be interesting to see what we do. Here we got Brooks running a high isolation. And he just says, fuck you, and scores because that's Dylan Brooks.
I had to put some Brooks in since he's,
he's having player of the week shit.
He's the captain of this team right now.
Here's a little Grayson Allen point guard stuff. Ignores the pick and then just gives it right to Williams for what a shock. The dunk. We'll move through these a little quickly. And the beautiful stroke from Royce O'Neal. But who threw that pass?
Yeah, who decided to pass it then shoot it?
Boom. This is what we want to see is Jalen Green throwing just a couple of nice passes per game. And again, he's got plenty of room to work if he wants to, but he sees the open man, he passes. And again, if he just does that a couple of times a game, like if you only watch what we've seen from Jalen Green in his Suns uniform, you would be like, holy shit. Like this guy, when he's healthy, this is going to be electric. The only things that we worry about are stuff that we saw from him in a Rockets uniform. But so far, when he plays, and it hasn't been 100%, but when he is playing the way that we want him to play.
Yeah.
He is passing the ball. He is trying hard on defense. He is up and down the goddamn court.
Absolutely.
The more I see Jalen Green, the more excited I get.
Me too.
And the more I think that the Rockets really might have fucked this one up and that they didn't really see what they did to him, what they asked of him. And, listen, their loss is our game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So whatever, dude. If they're like, we didn't even want him, we don't care, blah, blah, blah. Great. We're going to pass your asses in the stand. I firmly believe we're going to finish this season ahead of the Rockets.
Yeah.
And by the way, Sunday Night Suns special coming up April 7th. We're going to Suns Rockets.
Oh, yeah.
So There will be some shit content from that fucking game. You absolutely count on it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's wind this stuff down here. Oh, again, we got beautiful shot from Royce. Last one. Oh, my God. I mean, how do you not love this team? How do you not love this team? How do you not watch this? How do you not watch Oso Ighodaro pass the ball through his fucking legs and then go make a reverse goddamn layup? I mean, right here. This is just right here. We got a little bit of two-man game, right? And between the legs, right back to him. I mean, how do you not love this fucking team?
Yeah, I know. People are starting to get in on the Suns, though. I look at the comments on these highlights when I'm looking at them. There's some love for the Suns right now, even from people that aren't Suns fans.
Now, last thing we'll talk about before we get out of here. We did talk about in the last episode that Zach Lowe said he was worried about the Suns with rim protection and against switches. Mm-hmm. So I said to Keith, let's see if we can't get some rim defense highlights. So the best editor in NBA podcasting got us some rim defense highlights. So let's get a look at what the Suns do wrong here. So for once, we're going to actually criticize our boys because they're not doing everything perfectly. There's some stuff we can improve. Now, right here, this is a scenario where, no one's necessarily out of place, but we can see that Williams is a little bit high from the rim, and it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to recover. So not perfect positioning for him. And that's what happens right there is that Williams is a little bit high. Grayson's hedging on his man in the corner. And it just leads to an easy pass for the Nets because, again, Williams got to recover all the way back to here. Grayson's worried about his man. Goodwin and Brooks are high. So really, this leads Williams to slide all the way down here and cover that. And, ideally, Williams should already be here so that he can step in and cut that off. Okay. But he's a little bit high on this one. And, this is just a factor of you're covering the, I believe that's Claxton with the ball high. But, again, it's like you don't really need to do that. You can take a step back away from him. He's not going to shoot that shot. And if he is, again, a 20-footer that's like the least effective shot in the NBA. That's what you want anyone taking. better than them cutting to the rim. So just, Williams a little bit out of position. He's also upright on his leg. Like he's not like his knees are not bent. So he's not really in position to move. So this is just not a heads up play from Williams. And, you allow the easy cut. Easy dunk. Here, this is just kind of lazy transition defense. Like, this is
because he's there in front of him.
I mean, and Grayson stopped right here. Brooks is jogging. This is just lazy. It's just laziness. It's not a lot of. We weren't in position. We're not going to stop him. We're not going to try. And it's early in a game. That should happen. Here again, everyone's really high. And it does seem like the Nets are purposely trying to draw Williams away from the rim. Mm-hmm. So fair enough. Because here again, he's up high, but right there, instead of trying to recover back, he's trying to steal the ball, which leaves Goodwin at the rim. Not ideal. Here again, this just, that's just Williams getting bullied a little bit. He's got to be stronger than this. That's really all that is Williams got to be stronger there. He's tough enough. Mm. You got to be able to not let guys go around you. Williams can do better than that. That's all that is. Here, we got Williams dropping hard, looking like he's trying to cover the cut to the rim. And again, you got to body harder than that. Yeah. And that's just Williams has just got to know better. Their laziness on Williams' part. And I mean, this is a lot of Mark Williams being a little bit out of position or just needing to body the dude a little bit harder. And that's stuff that comes with being 23 years old and not always knowing the right rotation. Mm-hmm. And, that'll come with time. But I will say that was all about Mark Williams. Okay. That whole thing. And you might say to me, okay, nobody else rotated to protect out when Williams was out of position. Fair. And we're not playing a ton of lineups that play like Iguodala and Williams. So it may be up to Ott to try to find ways to play two bigs a little bit here and there to get better in protection, because it's going to be hard for Jordan Goodwin and Royce O'Neal to protect the rim. So any last thoughts before we may come back tomorrow night and do another 20 minutes if we beat the Clippers, because why the hell not? Again, personal stuff changed our plans, but we'll hop back on late if we can. Any last thoughts on this one?
Fuck the Clippers. Let's do it. Let's go 4-0, baby.
Fuck the Clippers. Let's do it. Let's go 4-0. We'll talk about next week's slate then as well. Maybe we'll just, whether or not we beat the Clippers, we'll do 20 minutes tomorrow. We'll talk about next week's slate. If you're still awake right now, should pop on over to the King and Doc YouTube, because we're about to do the King and Doc podcast. I am going to do another show because I'm just that good. But
yes, he is.
My man Keith, thank you so much for cutting those clips as always. Dude, appreciate you.
Thanks for walking me through them.
Appreciate it. I do. Hey, I love. We're gonna do this forever. So we're gonna be 80 years old doing Sunday Night Suns. So that'll be episode 8 million. So
5 champions later.
Yeah, 5 champions. I hope so. My God. For my man Keith Strader, I am the Blunt Doctor. That is Sunday Night Suns on Saturday night, and maybe we'll probably see you tomorrow night because we're gonna fuck up the Clippers.
Yes.
Peace.